Okie dokie, Jets fans. I tell you, man. Resiliency, fortitude. That's us. I don't know. You know, first off, let me just say how much I love you guys. Okay? I do. You know, it's a tough thing. We're in this together. I'm one of you. You have to know that by now. You have to know I'm deep into this thing with you. My name is Green Bean. This is GreenBean'sJets pod. I'm happy to have you here. I am. I'm sorry about the content that I must create today. I am. I've been dreading it, you know. Since the end of the game, I've been just sitting here toying around, thinking to myself, shit. You know, like, come on, Jets, right? Well, let's break it down. Let's get into some things. I do have a lot of positives for you. I do. I want to remind everybody of all the great things we have going on here. Every Thursday night, I have the Thursday Thick of It. That is a live, chat-derived and chat-controlled jet stream, we're calling it, where there's a lot of engagement. I have weekly guests. I had Ali on from Loyal New York Jets fans last week. I had Boy Green on the week before that, and on and on and on. We'll always have some guests for you, and that's a great show every single Thursday night from 9 to 11 or so p.m. We also have the Tuesday After Hours Jets Fest, which is post the Talkin' Jets panel that is over on Jets Talk 24/7 with Ryan O'Leary and myself. A little bit extra, just to squeeze those last drops in the lemon that we know are still there. The last scoop of cereal. Scraping the rice all together for one more bite. You know what I mean? That's what the After Hours Jets Fest is, and we do that at 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday nights. But the cool new thing is at 10 a.m. every Saturday morning, we have put together a worldwide Jet show called just that, New York Jets Worldwide. That happens every Saturday. We have guests from all over the world. So far, we've had Gangrene Germany and Gangrene UK and another gentleman from the UK. And we have Ireland and Scotland and France and Brazil all coming up for you guys. There are Jets fans all over the world. And it's really great to get to talk to them and try to understand, how is it? How did you become this pain-ridden soul? Like, look, most of us were born like around the area of New York, New Jersey, somewhere. Most. We have a grandfather, we have a father, something like that. But the guys in France, they don't have that. So what is it? Why the Jets? It's fascinating to me. So we get into that every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. with my co-host, Jeremy Cravats, and that's always a good time. And that leads me into the first thing I want to talk about this week. Man, was this a positive week, wasn't it, guys? Now, look, I've been a Jets fan a long time, as you know. I came around in 1982, and I've been hanging out since then on a hardcore level for most of it. I think probably 2 or 3 years later, I really started getting into it, going to all the games for years and years and years, every home game, Section 311 in Giant Stadium. You know, I've been through it, man. Look, you can start to see things and sense things, and you temper your enthusiasm. You know, you do, when you're like me anyway. There was a time when the Jets used to absolutely ruin Sunday through Thursday, Wednesday night. Thursday morning, I usually wake up and go, okay, who are we playing this week? That kind of thing. But they would ruin it. I didn't want to read the paper. I didn't want to look at anything. It was miserable. And I'm not that way anymore. I've gotten past that. Not to say I'm better or right or wrong, but that's just, I don't do that anymore. But it's still not good. I'm still not happy. But the thing is, you can start to see it. Like last week, it was such a positive week. We came out, we beat the Titans in overtime. A lot of reasons why. A lot of good play. We had the defense, the sacks. We had the C.J. Mosley, the Quincy Wilsons, the Bryce Hall. We had the Javelin Guidry tackles. We had Zach Wilson to Corey Davis. Jamison Crowder was back. You know what I mean? Keelan Cole got into the mix. Michael Carter looked shifty, laying some shoulder pad pops. So we had all that stuff going on. Lots of fun stuff. We had off schedule, we had on schedule, we had bombs, we had our quarterback saying, hey man, go. I'm going to throw it to you deep. And it worked. And then what happens is this. All these crazy stats start coming out. All these like, hey, did you know that passes over 20 yards, Zach Wilson is third in the league? Yeah, really? Wow. That's interesting. That's an interesting stat. I didn't know that we had a quarterback like that. Did you know that the Jets had, I think it was like 2 passes over 50 yards in 2020, and we had 3 that game? Really? Wow. We must be on to something here. Did you know that Shaq Lawson is top 10 in run defense? Really? No, I didn't know that. That's incredible. Did you know that John Franklin Myers is 3rd in the NFL for pressure win rate? Huh? Yeah. Wow, we're good. You know that the Jets defensive backs, that big collection of rookies, did you know that they have not given up a single passing touchdown all year? And the defense as a whole has only given up 2? What? Is this real? So these are the things. Now, accompanying stats like that, and it goes on, man. I have more. I just don't want to waste the whole damn time doing this. We did it all week, right? So, but what accompanies stats like that is, this is the best Jets team I've seen in 10 years. I guarantee we're going to beat the Falcons. We're going to go 2-3 into the bye, 2 weeks to prepare for the Patriots. And we're going to go into Foxborough at 3-3, and then it's a whole new season. And we're going to go to the playoffs. When a week before, everybody was saying, Salah's not it. LaFleur is nepotism at its best. He sucks. Zach Wilson's a fraud. BYU, no competition. And Joe Douglas is the worst GM we ever had. That flipped all the way to the stuff I was just telling you about from one win. One. So as an old beleaguered fan that is here in front of you now, I can't say I don't get caught up at all, because that would be a lie. Okay? I'm in there. I'm reading. I'm tweeting. I do it too. There was a whole contingent on Twitter the night before the game saying the Jets are the biggest lock in the NFL for week 5. I was like, I don't know if you just got here. But man, it made me nervous. Now, the cool thing is that we felt good. And we haven't been allowed to feel good in 2 years. As well, by football. We've been good by draft picks we like, or trades we've liked, or firing people we don't like. We've had good times. But as far as being on the field, we haven't had much to really talk about, much to be happy about, much to believe in. So, dude, I get it. Especially when your quarterback's going, and it works. But the problem is that for some reason, the entire Jets organization, after one victory, starts to believe this stuff. Starts to believe that we're a lock. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how it happens so consistently, but it does. It happens all the time. It happens to the best teams we've ever had. It happened in the Rex years. We'd go into a game, it's a couple hard-fought victories. We get out of skin of our teeth. Then there's this game we're supposed to shellac them, and we lose. It's the Jets. It's a weird thing. It's weird, dude. So here we are. We're playing the Atlanta Falcons, and dude, in London, right? In London. And let me just give credit to all those Jets fans around the world. I had the fantastic opportunity of spending a lot of virtual time with Gangrene UK, who happened to be the official partners with Nick Mangold to bring his 74 barbecue sauce or 74 sauce over to the UK. And they had event after event. Chris Johnson, our owner, was at these events hanging out with fans, drink down in dark pints. Not even like a Pilsner, which I had him all Pilsner, man. I didn't think he would be drinking a stout. I had him as a Pilsner, a little light, something like that. But he was drinking like Kilkenny or something like, something it looked like. Maybe it was a Killian's. I don't know what the hell he was drinking. I don't know what's going on. Everybody with their IPAs. I haven't had a drink in almost 12 years. So what do I know? But I know what they used to look like. But so Chris Johnson, dude, everything was positive. I'm telling you, on our New York Jets Worldwide show on Saturday, we had Jets fans from England, Scotland, Ireland, France, Ecuador, Germany. Like, they were all on there, man. They were all together rooting on the Jets, and the positive vibes, dude. They haven't seen Falcon fans. It wasn't the same. Like, sure, on game day, lots of Falcon fans showed up, but it's different. It's a different thing. These are people, they put on the Falcons jersey and they go to the game. Jets fans, the passion. It's a whole different thing. I wanted, not just for me, I wanted those people that have attached themselves to this franchise and put in all that energy and time and love. And these guys know the sport, man. They know it like we know it. And I wanted them to walk out 2-3, head held high. I wanted it for them. It was so positive. But here we are. We go to London. I had the opportunity of interviewing or having on as a guest, let's say, Glenn Naughton, the host of Jetnation Radio podcast. He was on from inside the stadium at the beginning of our Jets live stream, Jetnation live stream. And he showed us the stadium and he told us all about everything going on and the energy, and it was so great. And I saw behind him this Falcon fan. I swear I thought it was a guy dressed as a chicken. Chicken man. There he was. I'll try to get a clip for you. I'll show you right now. Chicken man. It reminded me of the Burger King Chicken Man. Remember the Burger King Chicken Man? That was crazy stuff. Anyway, it turned out he was a Falcons fan. So they had their people there, but not like us. And we go there, riding this emotionally charged wave of positivity, playing the worst team in the NFL by many accounts, battered with injuries, bad luck, and they have a guy who happens to be, in my opinion, and who I thought was the best player in the entire draft last year. Non-quarterback, let's say. Kyle Pitts. And he's been having he's been coming up. But the fact that he hadn't done anything this year of note yet, I've been around a while, fellas. I've been around a while. And I knew. Now, not that I wanted it to happen. And I got told to shut up when I whispered this stuff. And I shut up because I know. But let me tell you now. This is our role in the NFL. Our role in the NFL traditionally up to this point, and including the Atlanta game in London, is that we are the team that players have their breakout games against. It's just who we are. That's who we are. And Kyle Pitts did just that because we forgot that he's Kyle Pitts. We forgot that he's probably the most prolific tight end, dynamic, skill-ridden tight end to come out of this draft into the NFL in a long time. Just because he had some issues. And then you got Matt Ryan, who, yes, he's not mobile, but that's a new trend, everybody. That's a new trend. Newer. Mobile quarterbacks are the thing. Everybody looks for mobile quarterback. Let me tell you something. The NFL existed for 100 years on quarterbacks that drop back, scan the field, and lasered it into a receiver down the field. And that's what Matt Ryan is, and we saw it today. Now, the problem that I have, and this is where it all went to shit for me early, okay? This is the problem I have. There's lots of things we're going to discuss. The problem I had with this game is that, in my opinion, and look, I've only watched one more time compressed, like I just watched it. I didn't really take my notes and do all that. It's early after the game. But I agree with what I thought when I was watching it, which is our coaches got too cute. And that started on the defensive side of the ball with Jeff Ulbrich and his crew, which up to this point in the season, I've been very fond, very favorable toward their choices. I think they did a great job. In Atlanta, I don't know if Ulbrich wanted to make a show of his old team. I don't know. Too cute. And I'll give you a couple examples, and I already know you know. Like I said, I haven't watched it to the degree that I've identified all the defensive calls and all that sort of stuff yet. But one thing I know that you want to try to do is you want to try to disguise your coverages, right? We all know this. You don't want the quarterback to go, oh, okay, I know what they're doing. You want to be able to do that. You want to disguise your coverages, make it look like this guy's going to do that and this guy's going to do that when actually they're going to do the other thing. That's the way it goes. You want to disguise blitzes. You want to delay blitz. All those things. It's fine. I get it. I love it. But when you get too cute and you have John Franklin Myers, which to his defense did just sign a nice hefty contract, $13.5 million for 4 years, $55 million, $30 million guaranteed. Good for you, my friend. You've earned it, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean that he's supposed to be a cornerback, now does it? They dropped John Franklin Myers in a situation where he's going to have to cover Kyle Pitts. Why? We got exotic somewhere else. We sent someone else. It was supposed to confuse the quarterback, the offensive lineman. I get it. You don't leave Kyle Pitts running around with a 300-pound dude trying to cover him with a quarterback that's as smart, accurate, and has been in the league as long as Matt Ryan. That's Mac Jones' game call, okay? That's what you do to young quarterbacks that aren't settled yet. Matt Ryan sniffed that out in 2 seconds. He said, no way do I have this mismatch. And he ate us up. Now, and I'll even give it to John Franklin Myers and tell you, his coverage was friggin' good as far as what we expected him to do. He was this far away. He was 6 inches away. You know JFM's going to work. He's going to dig. You know it. And he dug. And he worked. And he leapt. And he tried. But he's 300. He's not exactly, but he's in that. He's, what is he, 285? I want you to know I just looked it up. It was 288. So you know what I'm saying? 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. What's the difference? He's 300 pounds running after Kyle Pitts. I don't care how athletic you are for your position. Okay. Ulbrich goes, okay, they caught us. I thought I had him. They caught us. Mistake, my bad. That'd be fine. You can suspend your thoughts and your expectations. For everybody makes a mistake. Okay, you were going for the thing. Yep, got it. Next drive, what happens? He gets caught in the same thing. It's not John Franklin Myers. It's the other guy. The other defensive end, Mr. Bryce Huff, who at the end of last week, Huff and Myers, dude, they were the song of the town. Did you know Bryce Huff is top 3 in or top 5 in his pressure win rates and all that kind of jazz? Yeah, Bryce Huff, the undrafted free agent last year. The guy who's prematurely starting. Who doesn't like him? I like him. I liked him when we got him out of Memphis. I like him. I think he's doing a great job. Does that mean I think he should be our cornerback while we send Eccles or whoever the hell it is towards Matt Ryan? Who's not going to bite, dude? He's not going to miss that mismatch. This is Matt Ryan, dude. He's a vet. He's been here a long time. He's seen it, been there, done it. You have a defensive end on his tight end, he's going to hit the tight end. You have a linebacker on his receiver, he's hitting his receiver. You got to do better than that. So we got caught with JFM. I tried. Yeah, we know. Thank you. Thank you for trying. You were in a bad spot, JFM. We don't blame you. Next drive, he does it again. Now, again, I don't know the circumstance. I don't know what the whole call was. But I do know that in an attempt to disguise whatever the call was, he ended up having his defensive ends covering tight ends. Now, the second one was on Hayden Hurst. Can I forgive that a little more? Maybe. Maybe. But ultimately, no. So 14 points, 2 touchdowns, 14 points. Defensive ends on tight ends. Now, I call that getting too cute. I'll go through the whole thing as well in just one sentence or two. On 3rd and 2, you don't give 5 yards of space. I'm just going to tell you. Now, again, I'm no coach. Like I've said a million times, I coach 9, 10, 11-year-olds. That's my realm, okay? I'm good with those guys. They look up to me. You know? I sound good. I don't pretend to be an NFL level coach. I don't. I know my stuff, but I don't know that. I don't know how to coach these guys. One thing I can tell you, though, is 3rd and 2 with Matt Ryan, a quarterback that's a vet and knows all I got to do is get 6 feet. You don't give him 5 yards of space. That's it. 6 feet, 15 feet. That's 9 extra feet. 9 feet. So it was a lot of stuff like that. In my opinion, too cute. Did the players play hard? Yeah. Did Bryce Hall look good yet again? Yeah, he did. Did Eccles and yeah, they made some mistakes. They did. But we only had 5 passes defensed in the whole game. Why? Because they were off. We didn't give our defensive backs, this young backfield, really a chance to make plays because they were playing a loose zone that gave these guys space. There was always someone open. Now, maybe again, you want to do that to a guy like Mac Jones, first year, maybe even Sam, maybe somebody like that. Not a wily vet like Matt Ryan, and he made us pay. I'm surprised he only got 27 points today. Now, his counterpart on the other side, Mike LaFleur, after watching the game, I'm going to tell you, rewatching it, I'm going to tell you, my opinion has tilted slightly toward just chalking this one down to a game where Zach Wilson looked like dog turds. All right, now I still maintain, I don't think our offense in general, our offensive coordinator, our offense as a whole is doing a good job of building this young quarterback that we have. Starting the game a certain way, building it a certain way, and getting him comfortable first. His mechanics are off, okay, inside the pocket. He does some weird stuff, and I'll talk about that in a second. He's not doing the Sam Darnold back foot thing, but he's doing something else. And they have to know how to identify that. They have to know which passes he's going to be inclined to do that. And they have to work on that with him. And they have to make sure that the plays where he is comfortable and doesn't do that, that's the plays that we're running, especially in the beginning of the game. You build a game. You develop a game. So I don't think we're doing a good job with that. Why are we asking Zach to push the ball 20 yards down the field on the second or third play of the game? After our defense just got, marched on down the field, bad calls and everything. I'm going to try to make it through this whole podcast without talking about the bad calls. That's what I'm going to try to do. Even though I just did it. But I'm not going to do it. Those calls, these refs. It's, look, all I'll say is this. There is momentum in sports. Any sports fan will tell you that. The momentum is real. Momentum is undetectable at times. And you don't know where it comes from or how it gains its strength. But once it's engaged, momentum will beat you, or momentum will carry you to the promised land. It is an unbelievable force, momentum. When you have a defense on the field, comes out and stops them in 3 downs, that momentum, that energy, that built up force behind them, yeah! And you take it down with a little yellow flag and say, yeah, that was roughing the passer. When it wasn't, that is unfair. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think you should do that. You always take a call. Nobody complains about the calls that go their way. I get it. At the same time, man, let me just say that. There was a few of those today. And that is all I will say about that. Okay? So when you're building an offensive game plan, you need to understand the strengths and weaknesses of your team. You need to know which players do what well, where the weaknesses are, and you need to make sure you're not putting them in a position to have their weakness exposed. That's the responsibility of an offensive coordinator. I do not think Mike LaFleur has done that well in that department, which happens to be the most important department with this team as it's constructed currently. Rewatching this game, man, I'm going to tell you, the overtime clams that Zach Wilson threw, it was the same mechanical issues. You remember when he threw it at Griffin's feet and he could have iced the game and all? It was exactly the same. There were a couple plays that I watched, and I think a couple were early in the game, first 2 drives. A couple screens today, look, we're all yelling at LaFleur. He's got to implement more screens, nice, easy stuff. He did. Zach choked him hard. Throwing with his arm. Kind of doing this weird side, on one foot, on his left foot, and throwing with his arm. I saw that stance more than once in the game. Now, guys, we cannot allow him to develop these bad mechanics. Today, Zach Wilson had a day. So what does it boil down to? It boils down to this is the first game that our young defensive back group really got brutalized. And it's a shame because we had an opportunity with a lot of their starters being hurt. Ridley, you know what I mean? Their best guys didn't even suit up. Didn't even show up. They weren't even there. We didn't give them the opportunity to make those plays. But it was the first time that they really got taken advantage of. This was a bad day for our defense. 450 yards, whatever it was. You know what I mean? 450, something like that. Whatever they did. They picked us apart. Matt Ryan was 33 for 45 for 342, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, which, by the way, is 5 weeks without an interception. Now, we got some fumbles. We did good. But we're getting our turnovers, but it's not happening in the interception area because of the young backs and the positions that we're putting them in. So it just boils down to the young guys played like hell today. Now, maybe that's the flying to London. I don't know. In my opinion, we have work to do. It's a bitch that we didn't go into this by 2 and 3. It would have saved the whole season, in my opinion, man. Okay? From my vantage point, even though I have very good indicators that we are not a playoff team, I know it. Can it happen? Sure. Is it happening? No. I know this. I don't care. It's not what I wanted out of this year. Going 2 and 3 into the bye and just having this 2-week period to believe and to constructively discuss all the great things that are happening with this young team would have been enough to ride this season into the sunset. Later, even if we don't win anymore, 1 or 2 more, I don't care. This would have been enough right here got us to believe, and we made it a season. And we blew it. Because the coaches on both sides got cute. Not even the LaFleur cute thing again. It's just like, look, I'll give you one example of LaFleur being cute. 2nd and 5 in the second half. The first half was garbage, right? We know that. It was garbage. We came out in the second half. What did I say? The first half was garbage, not the second. The first half was garbage. We come out in the second half. Great run back from Tevin Coleman, who I don't even know why he's returning kicks, but there it is. Fine by me, right? So he gets a great return. We have a nice 5-minute drive ending with a touchdown. It was mainly running plays, by the way. We're back. Defense stops them. It was in that period of time that if we came out in the third quarter, touchdown, stop, touchdown, dude, that shit was live. And on 2nd and 5, after a nice 5-yard Michael Carter run up the middle, which seems to be what LaFleur likes, little A-gap Gore stuff, right? So we get that 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Instead of just doing a slant, get the first and restart it, move down the field. Remember, 5 yards. That's it. It's 15 feet. He overcomplicates it, does all kinds of motions. Crowder 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, throw it to him. Nobody bit, and it destroyed our chances. That's too cute. There's no reason for that. Quick slant. How about another frig? You got two plays to run it. You got 5 the last time. The running game was working. We could have ran on them at will. I think we had 17 runs the whole day. So that's what I mean by too cute. Overcomplicating something. I feel like our Jets wanted to put on a show in London. Now that might be inaccurate, but that's what it feels like to me. It feels like Ulbricht wanted to use his Falcons that he has all the information on from being there as a coach the last couple of years, defensive coordinator for the end of last year. He wanted to show them how they should, you know what I mean? Like what they lost or something. But it just felt like that. Like, why are you doing all this? I think, again, what we're looking at is this. Young coaching staff who has to get their bearings. They've done some good things. They have. And I think LaFleur's issues got exacerbated by how bad Zach played today. But how bad Zach played today is a reflection on how well they're teaching Zach how to maintain his mechanics, because they're not looking good. When somebody has protection in the pocket, they should be able to hit 5-yard plays and screens and stuff. He can't. Last couple of weeks, he has not been able to do that. He can't do it. Why? That's on the offensive coordinator. That's on the Matt Cavanaugh. That's on Calabrese. That's on Miles Austin. Like, that's on the offensive staff. Get to work. So I will say this. I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry to all the new Jets fans. I'm sorry to you guys who got in during the Rex Ryan era. I'm sorry for all the European guys and the Australian and New Zealand guys who are so great and so supportive. I'm sorry. I want so bad to bring you into something positive. I didn't even know you guys were out there a year ago. Here and there, blips, blops. I'd get a little text from somebody, hey, I'm in Europe. I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Now I know that there are absolute tribes of us out there with Jets fans. Europe. You know, it's like we're everywhere, man. South America. We have a guy who pops in from Malaysia. We had a guy from India today in the stream. India, Montreal. They're everywhere. I want so badly for you guys to be like, you know what, this was good. Hell, I want for me. One of these days ago, this is what it was all for. So guys, we have 2 weeks. Here's some positives. Denzel Mims got himself into the game. Took 5 weeks for him to really get some consideration. And he blew that drive open, didn't he? And that's what we're saying about Denzel Mims. Not only does he know how to get open, but he catches the ball. He's a huge target for Zach Wilson. If Zach Wilson's going to be erratic and kind of all over the place, Maybe widen the target. Stop shrinking it with 4'6" wide receivers running around. You know what I mean? Like Crowder and Moore and everybody. Yeah, with all due respect, you know how I feel about Crowder. I love him. But it's like, hey, man, the guy's erratic. How about getting Sticky Fingers Magoo, who happens to be 9 feet tall? How about getting him out there? And they did, and he blew it open. That's what he does. He's what we call a gamer, okay? 2 catches today, 33 yards for Denzel Mims. And I will also add some very effective blocking on a couple of first downs. That is what Denzel Mims brings to the table. He's a guy that you never have to take off the field because when it's a running play, he will take somebody out of the play. Absolutely. His guy, don't worry about him. He's got him. And that is worth its weight in gold. So that's a positive. Another positive, Quincy Wilson, Mo Lewis, or whatever the hell that guy's name is. C.J. Mosley, fucking Bart Scott, they're all there. Quincy Wilson, C.J. Mosley, another good game as a tandem. Not as good. Not as good. All right, C.J. Mosley tempered, settled down a little bit. He only had 2 solo tackles. I think he had 6 total. Still impactful. Had that fumble, forced fumble. Quincy Wilson is still laying the wood out there. 6 solo tackles, 8 total, I think it was. So they're looking good as a tandem. Sherwood had some nice action today. So, look, if our coaches can learn, which I think they can, if our coaches can learn and our receivers are learning how to catch and our coaches are actually going, you know what, this Denzel Mims guy, he's real. Maybe we'll get LaMichael P running. Maybe whatever it is. Maybe start using the players that you have on your roster. When Jeff Smith and whoever else aren't putting up, get the guys in here who are. Okay? Like Nathan Shepard. Hey, buddy, you're a good guy. I think I'm about done. Just saying. I don't know what happened. So the coaches need to learn a little bit, and that's to be expected. Zach Wilson had a sloppy day. That's to be expected. The defensive backs filled with rookies and second-year guys. It looked like they were rookies and second-year guys today. It's a bummer, but it is what it is. We're still fine. We're still out there. We're still going to do great things. Just not today. So what do you think, guys? Are you upset? Are you back to Joe Douglas needs to get fired? You know what I mean? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to every single one of you. I'll talk to every single one of you. I will. I'll try to help where I can. But guys, let me tell you, we're Jets fans. The best thing we have is each other. So stop chopping each other's heads off if you can. If you can. Let's leave each other alone. We're all feeling the same thing. It's like arguing with people in traffic. Everybody there is miserable. Why? Well, that's your people. You don't want to be mad at them. They're the only people in the world in the same boat as you. Why are you mad at them? So we're Jets fans. We're in this together. We'll stay together, and we're going to work through this, man. We got young coaches. We got young quarterback. We have young defensive backs, young linebackers, young offensive line. Hey, the offensive line looks good. C.J. Mosley and Quincy Wilson look good. Denzel Mims looks good. Crowder looks good. And we made it a game. And by and large, it didn't look like we were going to be able to do that. So we made it a game and we had a shot. We blew it. And in my opinion, LaFleur and Zach blew it. So it is what it is. But guys, I hope you're doing okay. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I off from your perspective? Let me know. Let's talk about it. Just don't call me ugly. Hey, you ugly bastard, you're wrong. There's no reason for that. So I'm going to be okay, man. I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to be okay because I'm going to talk to you guys all week. So we got each other. Jets Nation, we're going to make it. We're going to watch this team up and down all year. It would have been nice. I can't say otherwise. But it wasn't to be. Kyle Pitts is now a legend. And there he goes, off into the career. See what I mean? It's important. It's an important role we have. But that all said, have a great day. I hope you're all right. As always,